Good theme song.
All right, our favorite theme song as we get our show started. Hello, folks. Welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Orduna. This is my mom, Gina.
He is the journalist.
And she's the enthusiast.
I am not that enthusiastic. I'm not going to lie. It's cold out here.
Well, I agree with you. It's
Don't
very
let
cold.
the sun fool you. It is cold.
It is very cold. And
but we still have a show to do.
We do have a show to do. We want to say thank you, Facebook Live, for tuning in with us today. We told you we're going to bring you our show on Tuesdays
and
Thursdays, streaming live on Facebook. Please continue to follow us on Twitter, on OTD, or OTD _ on the deck. She is J Repass _ OTD. Please type in my name, Adam Orduna, on YouTube. And then on Facebook, just type in OTD, and you will find all of our episodes and all of our content that we have dealing with sports. And so we're excited. And so today's big topic is NFL games being played in London.
What?
And the big question is do we think it's a good idea, or is it good for the NFL when these games are being played overseas? What is your just first initial thought on that? Do you have anything? Do you care? Do you not care? What do you think here?
Do I care? Do I care? Of course I care. I think it's a terrible idea. I tried to sit here because we were doing pre-production. We were talking about it, where you're supposed to challenge me to think of pros and cons because I'm an enthusiast and I love sports. It's hard for me to come up with pros.
Right.
I'm kind of con. I don't like this. Do I jump right in, or where do you want me to go? Because the answer is no, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't like it.
Okay. And to expand upon that, what do you think needs to happen for that? Is it just... Okay, for me, the reason why I don't like it, if I will go here, the reason why I don't like it is because it's just too far. The distance is too much. As it is, you already have teams in Florida having to travel to Seattle. You got teams traveling from Seattle to Boston, and vice versa. You got our entire country. It's a long ways to travel. And so now you're talking about young men and people having to move their families to London, and kids have to be separated from their fathers, etc. And I think it's just a lot to put on players and their families. And I just don't think it's the right move. I think the idea of London is great. I love that they're trying to brand football across the world, kind of like what basketball has done. They've done a really good job. The NBA has probably done the best when it comes to American sports broadcasting across the world. They've done a really good job. But the NFL it's very unique to the United States, and I think that's what's special about it.
Well, let's speak the obvious. Football's not basketball.
Right.
I am not going to sit here and disparage basketball, but when you talk about the actual mechanics and the roots of trying to move around a football team, it's different than moving around a basketball team or expanding basketball programs. So let me go ahead. I'll jump on the cons, and then maybe at the end I'll tell you a few of the pros that I thought about. But cons, number one, we've already tried this NFL. NFL Euro died. The Barcelona Dragons were huge. They stayed pretty relevant through the 90s.
Yep.
I think you even talked about
Calgary had a team, and yes, exactly.
So we've already tried this internationalizing of our game.
Yes, NFL Europe tried and failed. It didn't work.
It just didn't. And it had medium success, that sort of thing, but it just didn't work.
Yes.
Now they're trying to say, well, if we more incorporate it into really the regular season, well, here's the problem. Like you alluded to, you're talking about moving guys who have to then pick up not only time travel, but over the ocean travel, get there, get refigured, get reset, and then get their bodies ready to play the most physical sport ever.
Right.
Okay, number three, America. Let me just say, America, this is something that's uniquely ours. Everywhere else you go and we say, oh, you play soccer. No, we play football.
It's football.
No, we play football. No, we play football. You guys play soccer. You suck the dang ball around with your feet. This is ours. It's something uniquely American. And I'm not saying we can't share it. What is it, the dark ages? If they want to see American football, turn the TV on. There's nothing that's denying you the right to see an American football game. Number three, how about tourism? If people want to go to an American football game, by all means, come to Arrowhead.
Right.
Kansas City welcomes you, Londoners.
Sure.
Feel free to come to America and go to a game.
Right.
And then number four, because I could literally go on and on and on.
Right.
What I really think is going on here is that the NFL is trying to build itself up to do an expansion team in London. And we all know that right now you have an even number of teams.
It's an interesting point that you bring up.
No, I do, and I'm almost done, but I think they're going to start with London, and then they're going to look to have a second expansion team.
Right.
Either another one a part of Great Britain, or maybe obviously not Canada because they have the CFL, but maybe go back to Barcelona, go back to Spain, or Italy, or one of those places. But I think this is just them trying to make a leap from before we'd have one exhibition game to now we had 2. Now we're going to have 4.
Right.
Then all you have to do is make the leap to 8, because in a 16-game season,
yeah,
you have 8 home games, 8 away games.
Right.
So I think that the NFL is trying to be slick and get us prepared for an expansion team coming out, the London Pickaninnies or some crap, or Dandies or whatever they're going to.
Well, I think to kind of that end point, I think what's going on here is you're going to really diminish the high level of play that you're already getting here. We've talked on this show before about Thursday night football, Sunday night football, Monday night football. Is it too close of a turnaround for these guys to play on Thursday night after they just played Sunday night, et cetera, et cetera? Some of the games have been really bad football, and I think that's exactly what you're going to get.
Diluting the brand.
Yes, diluting the brand, but not so much diluting the brand. I just don't think you're going to get great football out of it. You're not going to get the best play from the Patriots if they go overseas. Now, you should be able to, any good team should be able to fight through the adversity of whatever. But we all know people get sick on the planes. What is it called? Jet lag. You get jet lag.
Right.
The food is cooked differently. I just don't think players are going to respond as well as you would think that they would when it comes to those things. There's already a game played in Mexico City this year,
right,
and it was a pretty good game. And I like the idea of trying to expand the brand of the NFL all across the world. I think the sport is very unique to a lot of people, and especially to other countries. And so I think there is a fan base that can be reached, but I don't think that the game itself is going to be that good or as competitive as we're used to, as we see these teams playing overseas. And so I'm just not sure exactly. I don't think the NFL still really knows what they're trying to do, but I think you're right. I think you're onto something when I think it comes to maybe expanding to bring in an NFL team to London or another country. But I think it's one of those things, hey, every now and then, once every 5 years, if you can have 2 teams agree to playing in Japan or Mexico City or London, I think that's cool. I like that idea. But trying to make every game or have a team in London, it's not going to be good for the NFL. I don't think the overall product is good.
You know darn good well they would not have expanded it to 4 games if there wasn't a specific purpose. They're not saying we're going to do 2 games in London, 1 Mexico City, 1 Barcelona. They're doing 4 games specifically in London.
Exactly.
That's why I'm saying the radar is up. They are trying to get an expansion team in London, and that's what's going to happen.
Right.
Here's my issue. The Chiefs had to play in London last year.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. Our players, and this could be an urban legend, but I was told that they took their own toilet paper over there with them. Because they were told that the toilet paper was too thin over there.
I think it's true.
Different texture.
Yeah.
And we all know how important that is.
Yeah, well,
so we carried over our OTP on
well,
the plane.
It does matter, right.
And it's anecdotally funny as that is, the truth of the matter is you are really asking people to transport your life. Whenever you're going to a different country, we're not talking state to state.
Right.
We're going to a different country.
Yes.
That just changes everything about
the rules are different, the values are different.
Yeah,
you're now the American in a completely different country trying to play at only an American sport. And even if your team is not good, there's no guarantee that people are going to show up. People have talked about moving Jacksonville overseas.
Oh, my goodness.
There's not going to be a fan base for people to be there. So what's the point? Well, you're not doing anything.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's say you move a team like Jacksonville. No disrespect to Jacksonville, but you guys are bad right now. You're at the bottom.
Yeah.
Are you going to move a losing team over there and try to build from over there?
Exactly.
No, you'd have to move a winning team. And what winning team wants to lose their
where they're already
franchise
at
and go to London?
Correct.
You're going to lose your fan base. And by the way, Australia has Australian leagues football, and it's completely different. It is not rugby. I spent the summer there. It's completely different. I actually got into it. It's pretty cool. They hit the ball with their fists like this.
Right.
And then they do this for the touchdown, whatever. But then you got Canadian rule. Everybody has something unique to them.
Right.
And what's unique to us is we have soccer and we have gridiron football.
Yes.
Let it be us. Now, I did
agree.
say I would come up with at least one pro.
Yeah.
The one positive I did hear from our Chiefs, and I can only go on that, was that they bonded.
Yes.
Because we were on a losing streak before we had to go to London.
Right.
And those guys took their toilet paper and their hurt feelings and their
They grew together as a team.
And
yes.
they really bonded on that trip over.
That they did.
I will give them a positive on that.
Well, and again, if that's one of the only benefits, then there's no reason for an expansion. If you just want to go on a kumbaya trip, then that's one thing. But to try to move an entire franchise overseas to me, I think is a little much. And I just think the product and the brand of football isn't going to be to the same high standards that we're used to watching if we continue to have that happen.
Real quick, because think about this. If you have 4 games, that's 8 teams that are losing home games next year.
Correct. It's not fair. It's not fair to the fans that can't go overseas. And so I think they really need to restructure, rethink that, and we'll see what happens there. But it is definitely a hot topic because I think you're right. You're onto something there. I think they're trying to get a team, and they're trying to be slick, and that's the NFL for you. And so we are getting close to the towards the end, and playoffs are right around the corner for the NFL, and so we've got a lot to continue to be excited about, and so we're going to continue to bring more. And if you guys have any comments about this NFL Europe / expansion, let us know, and we'll let you know too.
Whatever you do, don't come for our Chiefs.
Yes. Thank you for watching, folks, and we want to say continue to follow us on social media. Thank you, Facebook Live, and
Hi, Facebook.
We'll see you next time, folks.
Thanks for watching. It's cold out here.
Woo!
It's time to go. Get off the camera. It's time to go in.